Hello, hello, hello. My voice is audible, everyone. Hello. My voice is audible, everyone. Hello, dear student. Very good evening to all of you. So, चलिए start करते हैं. So, hello, dear student. Very good evening to all of you. So, dear student, today we are going to see about 11th July, the Hindu newspaper analysis. So, dear student, due to some bad health issues, so I'm not able to provide this newspaper in morning. So now I'm going to do this analysis. So, first important issue is that how you should get this PDF. So, simply to get this PDF, you just scan this QR code. We'll download our application from there. Not the today, but all the past PDF infographics is there. You can simply download that. And those who are using iOS and iPad, you simply use the ClassPlus application and then you use the OR code PKRMEJ to get all this PDF. And you can join our Telegram to get all this PDF. And, daily current affair. We are also providing a lot of new things also. So first important news is consider the Aadhaar and electronic photo, electoral photo, identity card, ration card as a proof. This is what said by the Supreme Court. So hearing petition against the special intensive revision of the voter list in Bihar. The court say issue goes very root of the democracy and list 11 document for the voter verification is not exhaustive. So Supreme Court on Thursday asked the election commissions to include more document like Aadhaar card. It can be the electoral photo identity card, or it can be Aadhaar ration card also, so that the people will have opportunity to prove their identity. Okay? And the Election Commission of India stated that so here it is given. Supreme Court Thursday asked the Election Commission to consider Aadhaar, electoral photo identity card and ration card as proof for voter registration in the ongoing special intensive revision for the election in the Bihar. So court referred to the Election Commission submission that list of 11 documents for verification were not exhaustive. Therefore, prima facie, since that list of documents are not exhaustive, it should be interest of the justice if Election Commission could also consider allowing documents like Aadhaar, electoral photo identity card issued by ECI and ration card, so that those who have not have any other document, they can verify their claim. Okay, so no stay. So there are so many you can say opposition and ADR Association for Democratic Right, they filed for stay of this exercise, but bench of justice Sudhanshu Justice said that. So we cannot, this is a good initiative. We need to, verify and remove the bogus voter, but at the same time, we need to ensure that there should not be any trouble to the people. Okay. Then ECI objected to that Aadhaar, stating that Aadhaar document for identification verification, not a proof of citizenship. So Aadhaar can only as a identity verification. That means to know that this person name is this or that, but it is not a proof of citizenship. Okay? Aadhaar said that when in Aadhaar Act it is clearly stated that this is not just a proof of identity, not a citizenship. So next important news is Indian team for USA again to negotiate trade deal in future. So Indian negotiators are going to the USA for third time in first few months. US team visited India twice during the same time because post Donald Trump coming into power recently imposed tariff and sanction against a lot of countries, and also threatened to impose high tariff in India and threatened to sign a deal. So we are on the verge of signing a trade deal. So what New Delhi wants? So clarity on several recent announcements from the Washington, including proposed 10% tariff on the import from the BRICS countries. So this is what proposed by the USA. then assurance on the how BRICS tariff will affect India, and deal is being negotiated. So negotiation for mini trade deal and wider bilateral investment treaty. So that is what we need to know. So an Indian team of trader negotiation will soon be arrive in USA once again and seek clarity on the several recent announcements from the Washington. On that basis, will sign the trade deal. So next is debarment of tainted candidate upheld by the High Court bench, division bench. So recently West Bengal conducted the recruitment to their school teachers, but they found that there's so many irregularity there and so many people are involved in the corruption. So after that, the new fresh recruit, they cancel all the recruitment, they have started a fresh recruitment, and it is the High Court clearly stated that those who have the tainted image and there is a chances of involvement in the corruption, they should not be allowed to given the exam one more time. Yes, this is what we need to take very strict action, so that those who are involved in the corruption, they should not be given any chance for any second chance for having attempt in this examination. So next is Zonal Council now engine of cooperation and not just a discussion forum, says the Amit Shah. So dear student, it is your homework. You have to study about regional council. So how zonal council are formed, under which act, how many zonal council are there? There are 5 zonal council. So north, central, no, not 5, it is 6. Southern and then northeastern. So how they are formed, like under which act? So you have to study that, and zonal council is headed by which minister? You have to study that also. So this is what your homework. Okay. So next important is the toddy adulteration in Hyderabad, death toll 5 goes to 5. So recently we have seen that adulterate, that means mixed of something. The toddy means it is palm something derived from the palm, and it is a liqueur. So due to adulteration, there are so many people are dying. So this is a repeated incident, because of some adulteration and some people involved in this kind of activity. So many people are dying. So this can be a good case study for your ethics also. Not only the study, in different part of the world, and even India, you are seeing that people are consuming spurious liquor, and after that, so many people are dying. So that can be a very good question for your case study also. So you should know how you can deal with that kind of problem. So if you study regularly, then you can understand it. Same thing here also. Central team assess the Nipah situation in 2 Kerala district. So Nipah virus currently spreading like a wildfire, and it repeatedly occurring in the different part of the India. So this can be a very good question, case study also. Even in ethics question, they can ask something related to that. They ask how you are going to treat. So this is a very good thing. So central team of scientists led by National Center for Disease Control, Director General Pranay. So they visited different location. So it is your homework. I've already given it. So study about Nipah virus. Nipah virus origin from what? Then different cases, and it is post, how it is transmitting to human being, what are the symptoms. So whether there is any vaccine for Nipah virus or not. So if they ask about something, you are, let's say case study, they ask a question, you are DM of a particular district, and in that district currently Nipah virus is spreading like a wildfire. So in that situation, so what kind of step you will take to ensure that while protecting the life of the human, ensure that there should be dignity to human being, while at the same time you have to contain the spread of the virus. So you have to take this step. Okay. So next, the Janki versus State of Kerala being re-edited. So this is a very classic example of free speech. For example, the filmy producer, filmy director, they have freedom of speech and expression, so that they can express their creative expressions to make a movie. But while at the same time, whenever they're making something, they are violating, whatever mentioned in the Article 19, reasonable restriction, then that can be restrained. But what happening nowadays, so people, certain section of the society, they feel that something related to a movie or something, they are not, or not their interest, they are saying that they hurt their sentiment, so they are demanding that not release of that kind of movie. Here the Janki means Sita, the other name of the Sita. So here the character Janki is a, you can say the victim, who is sexual victim, violence victim, who is justified for the justice. So here the those who are in favor of not releasing this movie, so they are saying that it is violating our religious sentiment. So it should not be released, or if it is released, then there should be change in the name, and that is the reason the Central Board of Film Certificate recommended that change in the name. So that is the reason it is been quite a news. Okay. And dear student, those who want to give mains in 2026, prelims in exam in 2026. So you can simply start our answer writing program. It is very nominal fee, yet you will get high quality evaluation. So next is state appointed expert committee, discount rising trend of cardiac arrest in Karnataka district. So recently, Karnataka state? So what happened? So recently, we are seeing, there are so many people, they are rising in the cardiac arrest. That means heart fail occurring. So even in young people. So there is also, fake news that is spreading that it is because of the COVID-19 vaccine. So cardiac arrest is rise. But recently, this report is denied in this panel. They found that there is no direct relationship, but rather it is the media. For example, if any death happens, so rapid spread of that information all over the world, it amplified. Look like that, death is increasing. But all these deaths are occurring because of pre-existing alignment or condition or suffering from some sort of problem. So that is the reason they have cardiac arrest. Okay. And dear student, those who are giving mains, you can start our answer writing program. It is very nominal fee, yet you'll get high quality evaluation. So next, the struggle to be counted. So this is talking about, how the special intensive revision intensive that is going on in Bihar. So how people are suffering. So you can read it out, or you can just read this much. This is more than enough for your examination. Okay. So this is more than enough. No need to go in detail. So next, this article, the TB death audit like maternal mortality model can add in elimination. So recently we have seen that in India, so many people are dying in the TB. So here it is given the data. So around 800 to 900 people die in every day in TB. Okay, country, but news of TB death hardly make in the newspaper. Despite so many people are dying, so it is not even making news headlines. So why this is happening? Because we are not creating that much of information dissemination. We don't maintain proper data so that people can understand. So the TB elimination program is for the reduction, a reduction in TB mortality rate to meet the TB and sustainable development targets. From an estimate, 35 for 1 lakh population in 2015, now we are 22. So that means we have removed a lot. But while at the same time, we have to go a long way to reduce or eliminate the TB altogether. Okay? So just like maternal mortality, we have achieved a reduced significant number of by high number to lower number because we have taken a lot of audit, we have identified weakness, we have provided a lot of things to do that. So same thing we can replicate. For example, TB death free project jointly. This is Tamil Nadu model. Tamil Nadu started a model where TB death free project was jointly started by the Indian Council of Medical Research and National Institute of Epidemiology. They've started jointly study everything, and then they found reason, and then they text the solution. So we have to study and find the audit of that also. Na? The crucial role of nutrition. So she also emphasized on the providing food and nutrition to the TB patients and their family. Because those who are suffering from the TB, they are dying because of malnutrition. So government has started a program. It's called Niksai Poshan program that provide 500 rupees per month to the TB patient. So this Somya Swaminathan ji proposed that this amount need to be increased to 1,000 rupees so that those who are suffering from the TB, they can be treated properly. Okay. So next important news is the Trump threatened 500% tariff on countries importing oil from Russia. So US President Donald Trump has endorsed a proposed 500 tariff. Just imagine. So those who are the country that is importing oil from the Russia, they will face high tariff from the because of importing. So in India we are Russia account for 35% of India crude oil. Just imagine if that kind of tariff is going to impose, how it is going to impact India. Okay? Russia is one of the largest crude producer with output of 9 million barrels. So that is accounting 10% of the global production. If Donald Trump is going to impose sanction, then it will going to increase the price is very high. And India already depends on 85% of its crude oil through the import. Any change in price is going to impact our economy. It is increase our current account deficit. It is given here also. So that is what we cannot trust on the USA. It is clear indication that USA is always concerned about their self-interest. We should not trust on the USA. Okay. So next is Google unveil AI innovation to make agri practice more data driven and efficient. So recently we can talk about how AI can be used make our agriculture more smart. So Google on Thursday unveil new open source AI innovation and initiative aimed to strengthening India's agricultural sector and making AI model more sensitive to India linguistic and cultural diversity. So agricultural monitoring and event detection that provide information on crop field activity across the India, empowering ecosystem, build targeted solutions, support agricultural productivity and resilience. Okay. So the foundation of agriculture landscape understanding. So this model will help us to understand how agriculture is producing, what kind of local specific designing of things that will helpful for better targeting. Okay. So next important news is Aadhaar has been made actively used for voter enrollment in earlier elections. So this is what currently there is a debate, because Supreme Court asked the Election Commission should include the Aadhaar, then electoral photo identity card and ration card. So in past also, even the government also insists on the use of Aadhaar to reduce the duplication of the voting, voter. So why current exercise it is not being included? So that is what bigger question that everyone is asking. And the election commission should include that to ensure that people should not face any sort of problem. So next is UK and France strike migration deal, announced coalition for peacekeeping in the Ukraine. So recently we have seen that there is a people are not trusting particularly European Union. They are quite fearful of Russian action and coming of Donald Trump, and the you can say the USA is not we are not able to trust the Donald Trump. So that is the reason. So UK and France have announced reciprocal return of agreement on migrant crossing the English Channel. So dear student, it is your homework. You have to study about English Channel. So English Channel is located between which two country, and it is connecting between which two ocean. You have to study it. So they can ask in your mains preliminary examination. So two country whose leader UK Prime Minister. So they have met in the London. So Paris and London also for first time coordinate strategy on their nuclear deterrence. Before that, France used to have independent nuclear deterrence. That means France don't depends on the other country for their nuclear deterrence. They have their independent deterrence, but now they will have joint deterrence. Okay? And we accept a genuine asylum seeker because it is right we offer. So this is what they want, genuine asylum. They don't currently there is a movement going on in particularly UK against the migrant or illegal migrant. Okay? So they are also establishing a coalition of willing of peacekeeping force in Ukraine to be ready. I'm pleased to say that they are planning a coalition of willing, so that will support fight of Ukraine against the uh, uh, Russia. So they can UPSC can ask about question coalition of willing. Okay? So here it is given. So the total of 30 mostly European country that are part of the coalition. Significantly the Donald Trump. So we'll see detail about the coalition of willing. So in coming days, the new coalition would have a headquarter in Paris, would also rotation to London after 12 months. So plan will be have. The country also announced that they would be coordinating their nuclear deterrence as only two nuclear power in Europe and permanent member of the United Nations Security Council. So if they both coordinate, so that can be act as a heavy weightage against the Russia. Okay. So North Atlantic Treaty Organization, particularly nuclear deterrence of Europe along with the USA. So French has until now maintained independence as part of its nuclear deterrence policy. French always maintain its independence because in past during World War II, French seen that it cannot trust on the USA on this issue. So that is the reason. Okay. So next, Center and UNICEF provide career counseling to the Ecologia students. So you have to understand that Ecologia Model School, these are the initiative of Ministry of Tribal Affairs to provide education to the tribal student. So National Education Society for Tribal Students, so which administer 470 Ecologia School for tribal students across the country, has started a program with UNICEF provide psychometric assessment, career counseling and training, life skill and self-esteem to 1.3 lakh students. So this is called Talas, which is stands for. So you can talk about what are the steps taken for improvement in the tribal education. You can talk about Talas, that is tribal aptitude skills. So you can talk about that. Then you can talk about broader scheme of EMOTS, that is Ecologia Model Residential School, that is being implemented to promote education among the tribal students. So next is Axiom mission, likely to be on dock from 14 July. On dock means this is the space station. Let's say this is a space station. So here our the flight that recently visited by the Subhanshu Shukla docked here, then it have to be undocked and return to the Earth. Okay. So after returning, so Indian astronauts group captain Subhanshu Shukla ji, who is part of the Axiom 4 mission at International Space Station, and three crew members are expected to undock and return to the Earth. So during their stay at the International Space Station, so they have conducted a lot of research. Okay. So after they are coming, so that will going to help a lot. So Niti Aayog suggests reducing core grant support for state Science and tech board is not much information, so just important for your examination. So just know this much is enough. So Ashwini Vaishnav review the safety issue at the level crossing. Recently, we have seen that 3 or 4 children are died at the level crossing because a train ran over their bus. So that is the reason. So it raised a security concern, and our railway ministry they asked that all the level crossing should be provided with the CCTV camera. So power supply with around the supply power supply. In case there is no power supply available, so then in that case we have to ensure that there should be proper you can say solar power, okay, so that it can be solar power with battery storage. So migrant worker from the West Bengal ill treated by the Odisha police. This is what alleged by the West Bengal government. And okay, so recently what happened? There is a crackdown that is going on all over the world after the Home Ministry directed given 30 days time to everyone, so that they can identify the illegal migrant that is staying in their state. So illegal migrant from the Bangladeshi and those who are from the Myanmar. And so Odisha identify around 444 people, mostly Bengali speaking, and started the verification. So those who have the proper identity document. So we have returned back, and those who don't have identity, so ask them to submit the document. Okay. So India team seeks clarity on the USA tariff. So Trump first raised the specter of tariff on BRICS country on last Sunday, then doubled down during the cabinet brief on this Thursday. So that because of Donald Trump frequent change in tariff that create a lot of confusion in the minds of the people. So, for example, it is saying that we'll charge 10% on the BRICS country. So that is the reason India want more clarity before signing any sort of deals. Okay. So next is center identified domestic farm for S400 maintenance. So Russia, Almaz, so manufacturer S400 will collaborate with Indian farm to set off maintenance, repair, and overall facility. Move will reduce dependence on the foreign entity. So recently, if everything is maintained or repaired in the home country, that will reduce our dependency on the Russia. So it will also prevent any future sanction on the Indian equipment. So Defense Ministry has identified Indian farm to maintenance, repair, and overall of S400 air defense system in the country. India now three S400 officially named as Sudarshan Chakra. S400 had played crucial role during the Pakistan drone attack and missile. So that is the reason we are also want to establish the overall and maintenance system in India itself. Okay. So next is consider Aadhaar, EPIC, and ration card as a proof. This is what said by the Supreme Court. Already we have seen that. Okay. So next is the need to safeguard the right to vote. So dear student, this is a very good article. It's talking about detail about the evolution of voting. So please just study it. Okay. So it is talking about how voting is very important, and in India from very starting we have started universal adult franchise. That is those who are adult and below the age of 20, not the below age of 21, that is more than 21 age. We have provided universal adult franchise. But so called the Western country like Britain, French, USA, they have gradually provided their universal adult franchise to everyone's. But despite all these things, you can see about we have already reduced our voting age from 21 to 18. Okay. So that more by 61st Constitutional Amendment Act. So that provide more people to vote during the election, so that our youth will act as a stakeholder in the electoral process. But there are demand that we should include the right to vote as a fundamental right. But time and again different Supreme Court judgment clearly stated that it cannot be included as a fundamental right. Rather, it is a constitutional right under Article 326. So it is given here. So right to vote is a constitutional right under Article 326. Okay. So there are different case given here. So just study, read it out. You'll understand it a lot. Okay. So next important article of the day. So first is, our existing mechanism are effective in preventing custodial violence. So recently we have seen so many custodial violence that is affecting different part of the world, different part of the India. So recently we have seen death of the Ajit in Tamil Nadu. Okay. So why custodial violence is happening in India? Because of colonial law. So there are bad working culture in the police. So because of that, it reinforce and promote the violence. And India is not signatory, though we don't have any law against anti-torture. So and the training process are not that, and we use a third degree method to extract the confession. So these are few methods reason for prevalence of the custodial violence. Custodial violence means people are dying in the police custody. So just read it out, you'll understand it. Okay. So next is widen the net. The ECI must heed the Supreme Court view on including more accessible document. Yes, definitely. Election Commission role should be to help the people. Those who are real citizens, there should not be any harass. We should facilitate them so that their life became easy. Okay? So it should not be it should not be harass someone just because they don't have anything. So bridge too far. So recently we have seen that bridge all over the India, they are being collapsed. So why these are happening? Recently, we have seen a bridge is collapsed in the Gujarat. So because of that, 18 people have been dying. So this is happening repeatedly, but despite that, we are not taking any steps. So we have to be and conduct safety audit. We have to identify vulnerable places, and we have to promote a culture of safety so that these kind of loss of precious life we have to prevent if we can timely act. Na? Then population declined and ill-informed chorus. So, recently we are seeing, once we are talking about, India is having rising population, world is also having rising population. But now things have been changed. Now, instead of rising population, we are seeing that population has been shrinking very fast. And even the world facing the shortage of the population. Okay? So shortage of the population, even some state, they promote, China implemented one China policy, one child policy. Later on, they revised it, promoted. Despite that, their population is also declining. Even some state, they are facing the aging population. So in this backdrop, so we have to ensure that there should be sustainable level of population in India, so that we are not going to face any aging crisis, or you can say people in the old age. So next, again, it is given the adding India progress with choice and control and capital. So our population are transiting from once used to be younger and high population. Now we are below the replacement level of population. So we need to facilitate our population should be those who have, they should have proper education, proper nutrition, proper skills, so that we can reap the demographic dividend. Even those who are in the elderly, we need to ensure that there is proper genetic care, there need to be proper social security, so that their life can be better. So that is what we have to do. This article is talking about in World Population Day. Dear student, this is all about the 11th July news. So dear student, on a daily basis, I am providing newspaper around 9 a.m. in the morning. So dear student, if you like this video, please like, subscribe to this channel. And if you have any feedback, please write in the comment box. Your comment are always welcome. And according to your comment, I'll make the video. Okay, dear student. So I'll have to end our class here. Chaliye, bye bye. Good night. Have a good day.